thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, hit the love, hit the like. Just do this for like 2 minutes. Just engage with the site. Only if you're happy that the Cleveland Browns won. Only if you're happy. 1 sec. 2, 2, and 1. What the heck? What a weird stat line. That field goal by Joseph, too. Jeez. Okay, let's do this, though. All right, broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles, to be specific. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Unhappy Hour. My name is Brian Engelman, and you have been checking out this show for the past 7 years, powered by TheNewAmericanMedia.com. This is our old logo. We have just created a new logo, waiting to put it on things. We're going to put it on shirts and hats and shot glasses and rocks glasses and all sorts of things soon. So if you like what we've been doing, if you like the community we've been building, we're going to try to sell you some stuff so we can try to make some money, so we can try to give you more content and keep doing this. Obviously, today, Cleveland Browns just defeated the Ratbirds 12-9 in overtime. And I'm watching it. I can't play you the audio because, then I'll get all my stuff flagged. But I'm watching number 17. I'm watching our weird new kicker. Lines it up, 6 seconds left, 3rd and 1, launches it, a weird knuckleball. Barely over. Kind of kicked it sideways. I'm going to say I can't believe we won, but I feel like we should still be undefeated right now. We're 2, 2, and 1. That's right in the thick of the playoff hunt. I said we were going to be 10 and 6 at the beginning of the season. I changed it to 10 and 5 and 1. We have been competitive in every single game that we've played this season. Every single game that we've played, the Cleveland Browns have been competitive. We could have, should have beat the Steelers. We could have, should have beat the Saints. And now we got the Jets. And we got the Ratbirds. Wins underneath our belt. Can you freaking believe it? Ted Distel. What's up, Ted? Yes. So how do I get the Facebook folks over here? YouTube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. It's a group. Hit subscribe. We're doing the live chat in here. We're going to start migrating our live shows into the YouTube channel. YouTube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. Yes, you're right, Ted. I got to upvote your comment. How do I do that? No, I can only report it. I'm not trying to do that. But anyway, thank you guys for all tuning in. Let's go through all your comments. Type your comments below. We're getting live feeds over here on Facebook from people talking like Ted. Ted's a web designer, and he's the one that got us our new logo. It's the new logo we're using on the Facebook channel, so you're familiar with it. But anyway, can't wait to put it on some stuff and show you that way. Anyhow, thanks for watching over here, Ted. Mike Lococo, yes, clapping. Darren Campo saying my final guess was close. Yeah, you were pretty close. What did you say, 13-10? I think you said 13-10. It was a little bit ago. I called 12-9 on a game-winning field goal. I'm trying to get all the highlights where I can find something, but looking for it right now. I guess I'll just pause without it. So what do you guys want to talk about? Your guess was pretty close. What's up, Mike Lococo? Darren Campo, 2, 2, and 1. Yeah, we're right in the thick of the playoff. Oh, yeah, you're no longer a web designer. Ted, tell me what you are again. Ted Distel is no longer a web designer. He's a graphic designer. He's a filmmaker. He's a videographer. He's – what else, Ted? What am I forgetting? What else do I need to add? But, yes, he did build our website, but he doesn't do that anymore. David Prater saying no call on pass interference. Look, if we're not used to the fact that we have to beat – the Cleveland Browns have to beat both the refs and the other team, we're never going to get it. Hey, Darren Campo migrated with me onto YouTube. Thank you, Darren. Thank you for joining us over here. We're shifting from Facebook over to YouTube. I like this. Multiple screens. Good stuff. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate that. Friggin' love it, man, says Dan Vogan. Absolutely. But David Prater, you're talking about no call on pass interference. That's the way it's going to be. We're always going to have to beat the referees and the other team. So just get used to it. That's why you should win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. No more of these close games. Enough of this crap. Enough of it. Hi, Dan Vogan. Mike Lococo, a win is a win. Yes, it is. We're 2 and 2 and 1. That is 500 if you've ever seen it through 5 games. You couldn't be any more 500 through 5 games than 2-2-1. So, you know, the Cleveland Browns always talk about winning your 4 games. You got 4 and 4 and 4 and 4. 16-game season, you have quarters. If you win each quarter, that's 3-1, then you're going to be in the playoffs, most likely. Okay, Darren Campo is saying, go adopt our Barker Mayfield mascot. I like that. Daniel Vogan, thank you for switching. Ted, thank you for reminding me to ask these people to switch over. Hey, David, thank you for jumping over on YouTube. Click subscribe, click the notifications bell over here. This is where we've been building our network mainly for the past 7 years. We will branch out and we'll pull our sports away from our current events and politics. We have a lot of different shows, a lot of different content. But for now, we're going to anchor the Unhappy Hour here in YouTube, and we're going to use the Facebook page as an ancillary thing because our Facebook group is fantastic. If you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed or if you haven't joined our private group, it's called The Unhappy Hour Sports Show, a support group. Invite all your friends. Take 2 minutes. Invite all your Browns fans. Just clickety-click. Anybody left here in the chat room, type, give me some thumbs up and some hearts, if you would be so kind. I'm trying to figure out how to make a heart. Is that a heart? Okay, so a win is a win. Yes, Mike Lococo, you are correct. Dan Vogan, 500 ain't bad, bro. No, it's not too bad. By the way, if you're out there sipping on a beverage, I have some bourbon over here. Cheers. Tell me, what are you sipping on back home? What is this is called the Unhappy Hour. Pull up a bar seat. You know, don't forget that I've been a bartender for a long part of my life. But this is my bar. You're showing up, we have the game on behind us, and I'm the bartender. So tell me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're eating. What are you ordering for an appetizer? What are you eating on? You know, Mike Lococo, he's in here. I worked with him at O'Hara's Sports Bar and Grill back when I lived in Brunswick, Ohio. You know, that's what this is. This is a place for all of us to get together and talk about the game. So let's talk about the game. Dan Vogan, 500 ain't bad, bro. Yes, I agree. I'm okay with that. Darren Campo, our mathematical wizard. By the way, if you don't know, Darren Campo, he was in the World Series of Poker. He sat at the main table for a little bit. So he's our analytics guy. He's our numbers guy. And so he's bringing up that it's 5 games decided by a total of 13 points. Let's see. 5 times 3 is 15. So just under 3 points a game determining all of these. Thank you for all the hearts and thank you for all the likes. Just keep them up. It helps, I guess, in the algorithms. Who knows? Artificial intelligence will take us all over one of these days. Vince Montemarano. Vince, yes, thumbs up. We win this game. All right, Mike Lococo, thanks for joining us over here. Darren was saying, though, I wanted to get back to it. He said, adopt our Barker Mayfield mascot. I like that name, Barker Mayfield. I don't know if you've watched, I did a Cleveland Browns documentary, Football Equals Family, the story of the Cleveland Browns Perfect Season Parade. And there was a lady in there. She had a dog named Bernie Kosar and a picture of her dog named Bernie Kosar that was signed by Bernie Kosar that she has hanging up, which is pretty cool. But I love Barker Mayfield. I think that's awesome. Mike Lococo, thank you for joining us over here. David, thanks for joining us over here. Dan Vogan is switching over here. By the way, we're 2-0 in Color Rush jerseys. Can we just stick with the Color Rush jerseys? Is there any reason we have to go to those stupid white jerseys? White jerseys are for away games, and just stop it. That's what we have. That's a neat jersey, and it's winning. 2-0 in the Color Rush jerseys. Good point, Daniel Vogan. Mike's saying, I like those uniforms. I like them too. Cold beer. What kind of cold beer? Come on, David. This is – your comments are like radio. You have to paint us a picture. Paint us a picture with your words. Are you having a draft? I mean, do you have like a man cave with a draft? Did you crack open a can of Guinness? Is this a Bud Light you're smashing, or is this a microbrew? Is this something pumpkin-y and aged in oak barrels and, you know, it's $18 for a 6-pack? It's all good. Mike is drinking cherry Pepsi. Mike, I'm going to give you a pass on that. I'll take it. Dan Vogan, Miller Lights. Hey, great taste, less filling. Ted is coffee at the moment. Yeah, I got some coffee over here. Cheers. I got ice cold Mountain Dew over here. Let's see, coffee. Add a little Irish cream. Absolutely. Whiskey and bourbon is a good mix for that. I'm going with some old Rebel Yale. Not a sponsor yet. I'm on a bit of a bourbon kick, so I'm kind of trying all of them. I like bourbon these days. What can I say? All right. You need to trademark that. Darren, let's talk. Hit me up after this. We'll make a T-shirt. We'll see if Ted can help us design a Barker Mayfield T-shirt. Come up with a whole line of things we can sell in the happy hour. I think we're onto some ideas there. I have heard it before, but it's still good. Daniel Vogan saying Haley dialed up a gem against Suggs. He had 1 sack. Yeah, I mean, you know, some of these plays that we're going to. Let me pull up the. You know, Rod Streeter. Just when the game counts the most, you give it to Rod Streeter on an end around. What is it, on a reverse or a negative 11-yard play? I'm sorry, Todd Haley. You know, did he dial up a gem? Yeah, he did keep Suggs from only getting into our backfield for a sack 1 time. But there were some questionable calls. There were some questionable Willies. I mean, we're going to Willies more than we're going to Callaway, or the same amount. I don't know. I just wonder. You know, 1 catch for Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson is supposed to be a really valuable out of the backfield kind of. I don't know. Look, Haley got us the win. I'm not going to complain about Todd Haley, but I'm just saying that there were some questionable calls in this game, like we're getting used to seeing now over and over. You know, I don't know, how much do we have to talk about the kicking game? It's the weirdest thing I've heard in a long time. This season with the Cleveland Browns and their kicking game, it's maddening. So if I allow it to, it's probably going to really upset me. I was in favor of firing our special teams coach at halftime. So anyway, we can get into the kicking game if you want, but it's a total mess. It's a total disaster right now. That's all you need to know about it. Anyway, so did he dial up a gem? Haley got us the win. I mean, 12 points. This should have been decided in regulation anyway. If we kick that extra point, it's a 10-9 game. Now, obviously, Baltimore wouldn't have settled for what they would have went for a 2-point, and maybe it would have been overtime anyway. I understand that, but you just can't miss extra points in this league, and it's really cost us. We could be right up there with the Cincinnati Bengals with our regular season record if we had paid more attention to detail and at least had the basics handled. So anyhow. Let's see. Michael Coco saying brown jersey, orange pants. Yes, it's an awesome. I like the brown and orange. Stick with the brown and orange. Lose the white. Just stick with those colors. It looks like a good team. It's a good blend. Mike, you're allergic to alcohol. You got to tell me about that, a little bit more about that. Because I used to bartend over there and I used to serve you. So you tell me about that. Ted Distel saying Mayfield and his offense do feel quite different. The no-give-up attitude is nice. Absolutely. Every time we get the ball with Baker Mayfield, I expect a 19-yard gain down the middle or a 22-yard gain to the sidelines or a run of a – like I expect scoring. I expect good things to happen, which is very different from how I used to approach Cleveland Browns games. Mike's explaining his alcohol allergy. He breaks out in misdemeanors. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We all got to learn where we're at and how I get it. I bartended for a while. Dan Vogan over here before he switched from Facebook over to the YouTube channel saying offensive penalties were out of hand. How about all penalties were out of hand? But yeah. Myles Garrett, you can see the ball. You don't have to keep jumping offside to be effective. You're really hurting us when you're giving that offside penalty. You're giving them extra plays, extra looks. You got to get better at that. This is an ongoing problem with you, Myles Garrett. You have the talent through the roof, but that anticipatory jump thing. I mean, look, I played your same position to a lesser degree, obviously, but I was on 2 undefeated teams in high school. Played in the state championship junior year. I was a backup, and then I was a starter my whole senior year. When you're lined up with your right arm down and you're looking over, you're seeing the ball. Until that ball moves, you don't move. This is not complicated. This is not rocket science. Myles Garrett, you've got to stop with the offsides. And it's not just that. It's Njoku. It's blocks in the backs. It's holding. We have got to clean up this silly crap. They need to start finding the hell out of these players internally on their team. If you commit these penalties and it's not to protect our quarterback from getting his head cleaned, his clock cleaned or his head knocked off, I can understand a holding penalty if your guy's beat and Baker's going to take it. No penalties there. But, man, the dumb plays, you got to stop it. You just got to stop it. But Mike is saying the Butcher, the Baker, the turnover maker, they all showed up. I like that. I like all of these. What's up, Ryan? Thanks for joining us. What's up, Justin? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Justin and I were trying to do a Cleveland Indians show too. Obviously, the Indians are down 2-0 against the Astros, but they say it's not a series until a road team wins. You know, I wish Bauer were starting game 2 or game 3. I wish Kluber would have got us that game 1 win. It's not the case. So anyway, we will be doing a sports show with Justin Engelman, my cousin, will be joining us. We'll talk some Tribe real soon. Grace, thanks for joining us. Woohoo, Dilly, thank you. How about we talk about our Denzel Ward-led defense? That's a good point. I mean, what does it mean to finally have a team on the Cleveland Browns that are going to take draft picks, stockpile our draft picks, and do well with them? Let's look back at Trent Richardson, Johnny Manziel, Brandon Weeden, Justin Gilbert. Let's look at these first-round picks. We completely whiffed, swing and a miss. Whew. When you have 4 first-round picks that you can – are any of these players even in the league? Maybe Brandon Weeden's a backup somewhere as a second or third string. These guys aren't even playing, let alone contributing. You look at Nick Chubb, you look at Baker Mayfield, you look at Denzel Ward. Wow. This is why you stockpile the draft picks. Yeah, the defense gave up 9 points the entire game. And 3 of those, 3 field goals. Didn't give up a single touchdown in the game. Kudos, tip of the hat. This is a vastly different performance to what we saw last week, giving up 45 to John Gruden's Oakland Raiders. Greg Williams deserves a lot of credit for the game plan, the scheme, and how we handled today's game. This defense is legit. This is the return of the dog pound. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. None of this is a walk in the park. None of this is a piece of cake. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Gregory Moore. Thanks for joining us. Interesting. I hope something was interesting. Join the YouTube party. Ted, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Or is James Lofton called him Denzel Washington? Denzel Washington. Okay. I'm just going to let that one slide. That's pretty sweet. Anyway, Daniel Vogan saying he looks forward to Sundays again. Do you remember when it felt like we had a chance to win every single game? Look, we've tied once. We have lost twice. And if you've watched every game in this season, has it felt like we could have won every single game that we've played? We haven't been blown out once. This hasn't been a fiasco or a disaster or a total brain fart. Everything went wrong once. When things did go wrong, you know what they led to? A close game that we barely lost or had to settle for a tie. This team feels very different. This feels like a different – it's like they're playing a different sport than you are. To paraphrase Mike Polk Jr., who did hilarious stuff about the Cleveland Browns. David Prater saying Ward played great and he was fantastic. And Daniel Vogan said he was fantastic. He's legit. When you have somebody shutting down the wide receivers the way that Denzel – now I got to be careful with the Denzel Washington phrase. Now it's going to get stuck in my head, Greg. Thanks for that. What's up, Michael Ray? Met Michael a few weeks back. He's a transplant as well. Enjoying some bourbon, Michael Ray. I don't know. Your people have convinced me I got to try some bourbon. Dan Vogan saying John Dorsey has it, man. He's got a good picker. Now we need a kicker. that should be a T-shirt too. Ted, design us a T-shirt that says John Dorsey being a great picker, but now we need a kicker. Boom, merchandise. That is pretty funny. Dan Vogan saying defense won us that game. Absolutely. Then he said JR just went shirtless because of that. I like that. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn funny. Seriously, you guys are too funny. Yeah, Gregory Moore saying that's what happens when you get CBS's D broadcast team. Well, maybe that's similar to what you get with Major League Baseball giving the Cleveland Indians no love. Every game they're playing, it's like, yeah, at 9 o'clock in the morning, they're going to play, see? on a Tuesday. Check it out. Like who's going to be? Yeah, we're getting no love over there, but I think, who was it? I watched a clip. Bob Herndon, my friend Bob, he posted a clip from Jim Rome, and Jim Rome was saying the Cleveland Browns, the AFC North belongs to the Cleveland Browns, and let's face it, the whole NFL belongs to the Cleveland Browns. This team is legit. They're a kicker away from being undefeated. Book it. This is your team to watch. And he was kind of kidding, kind of doing what Jim Rome does, but no, he's not kidding. I mean, we are the darlings of the NFL with Baker Mayfield, the young quarterback, the lovable losers, the winless season parade, the misery that we've gone through, the losing seasons, just all of the jokes. I mean, America loves an underdog. And we are an underdog, and we just came off of the Hard Knocks series. People know our team. People know our coaches. People are rooting for us. And this is a team that could be 5-0. We are 2-1. They are who we thought they were, and we let them get away. And then was it Parcells saying, I forget the Parcells quote about our record says who we are, who our record says we are. I mean, we coulda, we shoulda, enough excuses. Oh, if our kicker this, if only that. Like, that's not doing anything good to help your team. It's just a bunch of excuses. There are no moral victories anymore. This Cleveland Browns team is way past moral victories. This team is into win now mode. We have talent, and we got to utilize it. That's all it comes down to. I want to see some more highlights of this game. I'm wondering if I can. Oh, from 13 minutes ago? Perfect. All right, we'll fire this up. See what we got. Davis Lyons, glad to see you, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you, man. Ted saying, yeah, the refs are against us too. Great fight story. Yeah, the refs have been against us all season long. We are just going to have to accept the fact that we're battling the referees and we're battling the other team. Today we came out ahead. And a stingy Browns defense. I mean, they gave up some runs. They gave up some passes. They gave up some yardage. They bent, but they didn't break. When I played high school football, that's how it worked. Bend, but don't break. You can give up yards. You can give up first downs. Just don't let them in. Make them settle for a field goal at the very best. And by the way, that catch by Denzel Ward, I'm going back watching. Just going to scroll through the highlights here. That was a catch from Crabtree in the first quarter that Denzel Ward took the ball away on. I'll bet you the NFL is going to come back and say that should have been ruled a completion and a turnover, a takeaway. Because right after that was an incredible diving catch on the Ravens to pick off Baker Mayfield. That was not an easy interception. Baker probably shouldn't have thrown that ball, but it was good. It was a good play from the defense, at least. But, you can't count on any help from the officials at this point. I don't know if it's rigged. I don't know if it's organized. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know if it's accidental. But we're not getting a lot of love from the Zebras right now. What we are getting love from, I'm watching here, another play to Higgins. Baker can sling the ball. 10 yards, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's got a cannon. It changes the way a defense has to play you when you know that there's not a guy on the field who's untouchable, somebody that he can't take a shot and go deep with. Now, I will say, I'm watching this here. This is toward the end of the first quarter. Baker took a sack, and we had some debate in the group. Was that his fault? Was that the Lions' fault? Now, obviously, it's the Lions' fault. It was the blocking. They didn't pick up the blitz. I understand. But Baker has to have a little bit more peripheral vision. When you're playing quarterback, you have to see someone approaching and get your inner sense of clock. You have to understand when somebody's about to get you. Because if you're so locked in over here and you get your clock cleaned and you get injured and you're out for the season, that's not going to help anybody. So I do want Baker to kind of develop that wider range of peripheral vision a little bit. No, it wasn't Baker's fault. I'm not blaming Baker for that sack, but I am saying that if he had a little bit better awareness on the field, he would have been able to catch on to that, and it wouldn't have impacted him so severely. So the Ravens, driving again here, watching the game, second and goal in the second quarter with about 9.5 minutes left. Come on. Number 21. Second takeaway from Ward, at least they gave him one. That was huge. When your defense can keep you in the game every single time that you're on the field, you have a chance to win. And how about that throw with 9 minutes left to take us out of the end zone from Baker Mayfield? In the end zone, getting rid of that ball, taking it out 15, 20 yards. Ravens get the ball back. A team sack takes them down. Browns take over about 30 yards, 3rd and 2. One of those fake bobbles. Direct snap to Duke Johnson for the first down. That was a good call. That was a good play. I like that. Baker Mayfield, another really nice throw. I think that one was to Njoku across midfield, about 46 seconds left. Zips it to the 20-yard line, to the 19-yard line. Baker Mayfield, 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Takes his drop back, aims it, guns it, touchdown. Beautiful. Beautiful drive, beautiful touchdown. This is what an NFL offense is supposed to look like. And he's got his little paparazzi going for him. Just a nice zip across the middle. Just, this is how you watch football. This is how you watch football. And then, of course, takes the extra point off of the right crossbar. Are you freaking kidding me? Anyway, the prevent Browns defense, leaving big holes in the middle. Flacco takes him down. Cross midfield down to, the 30-yard line. 14 seconds left. And an incomplete. Very nice play. A very nice play sets up a Tucker attempt at field goal. Blocked by the Browns. Browns saying, stay away, stay away. Stay away, stay away, stay away. Denzel Ward on that play too. Is that who got it? Wow. Very impressive from the Cleveland Browns. Greg is making a point that CBS has given us the same love as an WNBA day game. I like that. Does the WNBA have day games? Didn't they protest a game because and that fumble in the third quarter. Sorry to pull away from your joke. That is pretty funny. Allen clearly has it. Ball looks like it's out. Anyway, Browns ball, third quarter, 1st and 15, about midfield. Baker, a lot of pressure, scrambles, spins it, gets it out. Nice catch, nice reversal from Landry. Very nice. Baker again. Throwing deep. That's a hell of a catch and throw from Higgins. Mayfield to Higgins. Oh, in the grasp. Flipping, stumbling, bumbling. Gives up the sack. Browns were on a nice little drive there. Had to settle for a field goal attempt. That attempt is good. Not a knuckleball. Takes a 9-3 lead. Should be 10-3. Back to Greg's joke. Hugh doesn't like to call timeouts by Denzel Washington. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Hugh's obviously on the hot seat. Ravens putting Lamar Jackson in. I don't know what they're really hoping to get out of that. But Denzel Ward sniffs it out and runs him off to the sidelines. Third quarter, minute left. Flacco looking, throwing, defense by Ward, incomplete. Nice play. Browns defense allows a lot of yards, but stops the Ravens, surrenders a field goal, 6-9. Baker goes down toward the end of the third quarter on a sack. That's where Suggs finally gets him. Flacco from his own 5 gets it out to the 45. So now we're into the fourth quarter. It's a 6-9 game. Everything's getting real tense, real close. Flacco interception that went in and out of the hands of the Browns defense. Baker back with the ball. We're just going through the highlights here. And that was a stupid drop by number 11 right there. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Oh, and another dropped interception. All right, so the Browns could have had about 3 extra takeaways in this game. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Nice catch and run after the ball by Callaway. I think number 11 is going to have a good few. I think Higgins is going to do well for the Browns too. Get used to seeing these names. Baker with 4 minutes left, up by 3, evades traffic, dumps it across the middle. Ravens get their hand on it to tip it down. That could have been one of those plays that would have sealed the game, ran out the clock. It really is that important. Ravens driving here in the fourth quarter, 3 minutes left. Driving. Down to the 30-yard line, under 2 minutes remaining. Flacco with the ball from shotgun, tons of pressure. It's a little running back screen that gets, God. Was that Javorius Allen down to the 15, the 14? Minute left, Flacco just saying, stay out of the end. Oh! Stay out of the end zone. Misses it, barely. Peppers, barely breaks up that touchdown pass. That was in and out of the hands. All right, Peppers, good play. Ravens the field goal, 55 seconds left in the fourth. Knots it at 9. Yes, you're right, Dan Vogan. Peppers showed up today. So we got this little screen coming out of the backfield. This is to Landry. Nice play. Nice play, nice design. Get the guys the ball in space. Duke Johnson, Jarvis Landry, give them the ball. 24 seconds left, 1st and 10. Browns running up there at the 40-yard line, trying to make it happen. 18 seconds. What are they going to do? Clocks the ball with 16 to go. Browns with 1 timeout. At the end of regulation, 16 seconds left to go. Baker from the shotgun. Takes a snap. Plenty of time. Airs it up in and out of the hands of Njoku. There was good defense there, but man, it looked like they had a chance. 12 seconds left. Baker, ball knocked down again. On 4th down to win the game, here's our wide left field goal. And the Ravens try something stupid here to pretend the quarterback's running east while he goes west instead of north and south. Whatever. End of regulation. Baker Mayfield takes over. A nasty sack. That was like a 3-person sack on that one. You got your David Willie's jersey? What's up, Christopher Ford? Thanks for joining us here in the Facebook Live group. We're migrating to the youtube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia page. Everybody's finding us there, typing the comments. So anyway, it's back and forth in overtime. Flacco takes him out to about midfield. 4.5 minutes left. Flacco airmails it into the middle of 3 defenders. Browns get the ball back at their own 15. Baker, pressure. Goes to his 3rd or 4th check down option to Landry. Fantastic. Catch. Even better run, but there's a flag on the play. It's okay. Browns keep the ball out at the 40. 3.5 minutes left. Baker Mayfield, the pressure's on him. Swinging, throwing. Messes it up. 4th and 5. Baker Mayfield just kind of heaving it, tossing it. What the heck? Landry was tackled on the play. No flag. Nobody understands how that wasn't called. There's no foul on the play. What? It was uncatchable. Yeah, it might be uncatchable because he was tackled. Anyway, Ravens take over. Browns with a lot of pressure. Tossing it up there. Maybe that's a makeup call. Was that Hayden Hurst? Might have had his arm held on that. 2 minutes left. Baker Mayfield, 3rd and 8 from about his own 15. Scrambling. Backpedals. Perfect. Finds Willie's taking off. Down to about the 35, 40-yard line. Okay, about the 42-yard line. From the shotgun, handoff to Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson making plays. Gets you right in the target field goal line. Fantastic. Out at about the 23. 10 seconds left. Gives it to Duke one more time. Duke moving it forward. 2nd and 5. Browns are going to use one of those timeouts. And here we go. 3rd and 1. Almost blocked. Field goal's good. Cleveland Browns win. Life is good. Life is good. Tap the hearts button and the like button. Thank you very much. This is a great game. This is just a wonderful game to watch. The Browns are legit. The Browns are playoff contenders. Book it, mark it, remember it. Don't forget it. Remember where you were the day you started believing that we can figure out how to win these games. We're not the same old Browns anymore. We're going back to like the Otto Graham Browns. We're going to become a dynasty for the next 10 years. Book it. Book it. Gregory Moore saying he calls drops Njoku's now. He drops a lot of passes, man. I wonder how much you can improve on that. That's a good question. For a young player, David Njoku, he's what, 20 years old, maybe just turned 21. We drafted him last year as a young, maybe a 19-year-old kid out of Miami. A physical specimen, really large, long arms. He's a good guy that you want at tight end. Very wide range of where you can go and get the ball. You want a big target for your quarterback. How much of catching can be learned versus either you have it or you don't? I'd be curious to hear what you think. If you think David Njoku and some of these other guys that are dropping balls more consistently are going to be able to get it up and build that completion percentage, the catch percentage, with a little bit more practice from Baker Mayfield in the practice and the 2 a day, the 2 days off season, the practice days week to week. This is a growing team. This is a young team. But I'm just going to have to hold out hope that we're going to be able to get it together. We spent Njoku was our late first-round pick. We traded back in to get him last year. So, we're hoping we can see some solid production from here. Chris Ford is saying Njoku sucks. Multiple drops in every game, it seems. He has to go. Can't block. Had a chance to throw a block deep downfield in the last drive for Streeter. He just ran by him. He's terrible and does not deserve the starting job. Well, Christopher Ford, how do you really feel? Tell me how you don't censor yourself. I can't argue that. I've been very frustrated with David Njoku and what he's brought to the team and what he's brought to the table for a long time. But he's super young. And I mean, what are we going to go? Seth DeValve? Like, what's our other option here? I mean, we're going to trade for Kelsey. What are we going to be doing? Gregory Moore saying his David Willie's jersey is on order. Fantastic. Jeremy Vince, thanks for joining us over here. All right, let's go back to these over here, and we'll kind of wrap this up. I'm really excited by what I saw today. The Browns finally winning this game. And here's the other thing. This is the second win we've had at home. The second win that we've had at home. Those fans have seen so much losing over the past few years in Cleveland. Man, does it feel good to give them something worth watching. It feels so good to give the fans who have suffered through miserable teams a reason to cheer and smile and walk away happy, feeling good about being a sports fan. Mike Polk Jr., I reference him all the time. It's one of my favorite comedy bits of all time. The Factory of Sadness. He says, it is statistically more unlikely that you could be this consistently bad than it would be for you to accidentally, occasionally be good. The probability is staggering. What we've endured since the Cleveland Browns came back after they were stolen and taken to Baltimore, what the Cleveland fan base has had to endure since that happened is miserable. We haven't just watched Bill Belichick, our former coach, go become the guru, like the head coach of all head coaches in all history, like past all of the greats. This is like the coach, not Jim Brown, not, we're not talking Bill Parcells. We're not talking, I mean, who are the famous coaches of all time? The best, who do you think of as the best coaches of all time? You can think of franchises like Green Bay. You can think of maybe Landry. It's actually a pretty good question. Maybe type in your comments who you think are some of the best coaches of all time. But Bill Belichick was the Cleveland Browns head coach. He left, and look what he's done with New England for the past 15, 20 years. We've had to watch that. That was our dude. That was our head coach, and he's gone. And he's only going to like every Super Bowl with Tom Brady. We also lost. Nick Saban was on that team, right at the end of the Cleveland Browns franchise. He's done pretty well down at Alabama. Ozzie Newsome, our Hall of Fame tight end, he did pretty well when he went to the Ravens. Oh, and the Ravens have won 2 Super Bowls as a brand new franchise, stolen from us. So Cleveland hasn't just had bad seasons, including the historically terrible 0-16 season last year. This has been a parade of futility. This has been the most embarrassing kick between the legs that you've ever imagined. By the way, just want to take this. Yes, I am representing Brunstucky. Absolutely. I want to say, if you haven't seen it yet on the YouTube channel, if you're already here, please check it out. It's called Football Equals Family, the story of the Cleveland Browns perfect season parade. I trailed Chris McNeil. He goes by reflog_18 on Twitter. One of the funniest guys out there. Indians, Cavs, Browns, Buckeye fan, all that stuff. We got a behind-the-scenes look. I put a full documentary together about the perfect season parade last year. About 5,000 people in negative degree weather, with the wind chill and everything, downtown in early January, because we love the team and we're sick of losing. it's nice to see us competitive in every single game now. This is a very far cry from what we had to endure last year. But please check out the documentary, Football Equals Family. It's on the YouTube channel. If you're here, it's already in here. I should probably leave the link. I'll do the link. How do I find the link? I wonder if I can do that right now. I'm getting alerts that the Cleveland Browns are doing their press conferences and all that jazz. Here, I got to go to my channel. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put the link for Football Equals Family, the story of the Cleveland Browns perfect season parade. Here, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this.
One before I die.
Into the group. Here we go. Share. Let's see if this works. If I can copy. Love for you guys to watch this. All right, I put a link. Tell me if you think if we're able to actually watch the documentary in here. What's up, Billy T? Representing Bill Thomas. He was one of the anchors on the high school team where I was referencing earlier. We went undefeated my junior year and my senior year. State championships my junior year, second round of the playoffs my senior year. 10-0, 10-0. Billy T was a big reason why. But Timmy was just saying represent Brunstucky. So it all comes full circle. The Cleveland Browns get their second win of the season, 2-2-1. I know, Billy. I know. I actually got to get some new ones. I wonder if they got to be selling current stuff, right? I mean, all my shirts are like, I mean, just like you, just like everybody else that played, we probably have 20 of these things. Various stages of ripped apart and torn apart and stained. And this is a good around the house weekend shirt, but thank you very much for noticing. So I posted the link for Football Equals Family, a story of the Cleveland Browns perfect season parade, the documentary that I completed from January this year when I followed around Chris McNeil. It's the linked in the YouTube channel. And it's also on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. No, thank you, Billy T. You guys help set the tone. You know, we win. Like, the mentality is you win every game. And you do what it takes, and you work as hard as it takes, and you win every game. You handle your assignments, and you win. We had great coaches at Brunswick. We had great players, and we had great teamwork. It has been so difficult for me to watch the Cleveland Browns for the past 20 years, 25 years, 19 years, whatever we're talking. It's been so hard for me to watch this team because the fundamentals aren't there, and there's brain farts, and there's mistakes, and there's poor execution. You know, I guess I played for a team that had really good coaching, and that's my minimum expectation is good coaching. And then it's up to the players at that point. Are they going to execute, or are they not going to be able to execute? So this team with Greg Williams, with Todd Haley, with Hugh Jackson, dare I say, we're finding a way to execute. I want to mention this. Daniel Vogan is saying Blair Walsh is still available as a kicker. What do you guys think? In both the chat rooms, type. Should we keep the kicker that we have, or should we sign somebody new like Blair Walsh? So it's a three-part question. Do you want our current kicker? Do you want Blair Walsh? Or do you want another kicker that's out of work right now? Or would you take anybody from college and just roll the dice? Because we're not getting consistent work out of our kicking. Yes, we got the game winner, but barely on a knuckleball. So type it in here. Are you satisfied with our kicking game, or do we need to still make changes? Are you satisfied with our special teams coach, or should we change our head special teams coach? It's a huge weakness on this team. Okay, Tim Sabula is saying Blair for president. I'm guessing that means Blair Walsh and not Blair from what was that sitcom with Blair? It was all those girls in the prep school and the old lady. Blair. What was the name of that show? Not Perfect Strangers. Help me out in the chat room with Blair. Anyway. Okay, Bill Thomas, Billy T is saying drop our kicker and bring in somebody new. Drop the 0 and get you a hero. I mean, I'm not comfortable seeing a missed extra point and a missed field goal in regulation. And that knuckleball that barely got us the win. I'm not confident. Facts of life. Thank you. Thank you, Billy T. Bill Thomas is our hero today. Cheers to you. Bill, are you sipping on anything today? The show's called The Unhappy Hour. So what are you sipping on? Tim Sabula is saying Amos sucks a meat puppet. I'm just going to assume you mean the band from the late 90s. Christopher Ford is saying any veteran will do. Christopher Ford, once again, we're going back to the Duke Johnson thing, and I think it's relevant. You know, we're seeing the number called for some players that Willies. Ahead of Duke Johnson? I mean, just here, how many attempts? I'm sorry, let me look. Targets. Duke Johnson had 1 target. Willie's had 5. Tied for the 3rd most targets on the team. Njoku had 11. Landry had 10. 5 and 5 for Callaway and Willie's. You got Duke Johnson getting 1 pass thrown to him. Look, the guy is elusive. Just give him the damn ball. Just don't give it to him on a draw. Don't give him Metcalf up the middle. He's a playmaker. Give him the ball in space. Turn him into Julian Edelman or one of these guys you see all the time, these little shifty guys, 5 yards out, running, messing with the linebackers, drawing them, switching their coverage and stuff. But look, here's the thing. I actually have hope. I have faith. I feel good about what Todd Haley is bringing to the table. I think our game plan is evolving week to week. I think the players that are earning more playing time are going to be getting it. I think Baker has shown us nothing but fantastic. I'm going to do a Zach Morris timeout real quick. Baker's made mistakes. He's made rookie mistakes. But he's shown me every single game that he's played, every snap that he's played, every series, in general, in whole. Baker Mayfield has shown me that he's the guy. He's it. We're done. We're confident at quarterback. We're set at quarterback. Maybe just bringing a veteran behind him. Maybe Drew Stanton's that guy, whatever the case. I am finally comfortable at quarterback that we have a guy that can make all the throws. He can – I want his pocket presence, his awareness to – I want more peripheral vision from him so he doesn't get his clock cleaned a little bit. That's an area of improvement, but he's a young kid. I'm so happy we finally have our quarterback. I feel more confident in Baker Mayfield than I have since – I felt really good about 2007 with Derek Anderson, but not like this. I feel very different. Even back to Bernie, I feel different. Bernie was maybe my first hero. 86, 87, 88, 89. But what did I know when I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old or whatever? I didn't. I think Baker Mayfield is the most exciting thing to happen to Cleveland Browns football in a very long time. And we've had glimpses of Joe Thomas being great. We've had glimpses of Josh Cribbs and Eric Metcalf. And you have all these players in the wrong era. You can't get all these players at the same time, which is unfortunate. And so you end up with a situation where you have a couple of really good players and they just kind of languish on the wrong team. But this is the first time in a long time I've felt so comfortable with the core that we have, whether it's Landry or Chubb or Hyde and Njoku and Callaway and Higgins and Mayfield, Johnson. And it feels like it felt in the late 80s where you had Slaughter and Langhorne and Brennan and Ozzie and, Ernest Biner and Kevin Mack. And you had a core that was going to be there that you could rely on with Bernie Kosar for a long time. It's been a long time since I've been this comfortable. So anyway, it's making me feel good. But Chris Ford is saying, can we get Duke the effing ball 10-plus times a game? Look what New England is doing with James White. Thank you. Duke should be the focal point of this offense. He's paid his dues, and now he gets crumbs. I get you. I understand. I completely understand. Tim is saying that he's drinking, I don't know, he showed me a rocks glass. I don't know what's in there. Okay, another point from Christopher Ford, and I'll get back to this one real quick. Christopher Ford saying he's got a short memory. I believe we're talking about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has a short memory after turnovers too. His confidence is unparalleled. Absolutely. You're going to make mistakes. And either you're going to be Tyrod Taylor, you're going to be too scared to take the shot, and then by the time you're done delaying, you mess up your window of opportunity. There's a life metaphor in there too. Trust me, if there's anybody that can understand paralysis through analysis, it's this guy right here. I'm an analytical guy. I think things through. I try to weigh pros and cons, and sometimes you can get wrapped up in it. And sometimes it's smart to just let the energy, you can let the flow, you can let the rhythm of the game dictate how things are going. And when you get into that rhythm, it's not about scripting your first 15 plays. It's about seeing weaknesses and seeing things that you don't even know you're seeing, and you articulate it into your next play call. It's about when you throw the challenge flag, when you go for it on 4th down. It's about when you throw deep, when you check it down, when you take off running. Football is a game of rhythm. When you know what you're doing and what you're supposed to do and what everybody on your team is supposed to be doing, and you can rely on the fact that they're doing what they're supposed to, You let the game come to you. When you're unsure, when you're hesitant, paralysis through analysis, when you don't know your routes. And that's some of the reports I've seen about Josh Gordon, just to go back for a second, because it's so disappointing. We had to get rid of Josh Gordon, and what do we get, a 5th-round pick, and he gets a touchdown, Tom Brady's 500th, and you go, son of a bitch, we waited on this guy for years and just gave him away. I mean, what I was hearing is that he wasn't even studying the playbook. He wasn't here in the offseason workouts, and he didn't develop a rhythm and a camaraderie, and he wasn't showing up on time, and he was a problem in the locker room. He's a problem on the field. He was a problem at practice. What are you going to do? But you need cerebral guys that know how to be where they're supposed to. Baker Mayfield at quarterback. Take the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop, and you're bouncing. Shift your shoulders left, shift your shoulders right. You get in, it's a dance. And when I played football and I bartended, hence the name. I got to get our new logo, but the Unhappy Hour. Ted, can you order me some of these? Can I shoot you a PayPal? I need to get some signs. I don't know where to order some signs from, but I'd like to start showing them. Hang one up in the background or something. The Unhappy Hour. That'd be cool. I should put that on my list. But anyway, as a bartender, I always referred to bartending as a dance. You're reaching over, you're handing somebody a Bud Light, you're mixing a drink, you're spinning, somebody's coming around you. It's a dance. You got bartenders going left, bartenders going right. You're reaching, you're grabbing money, you're doing transactions. It's a dance. And the game of football is a dance too. And it's the best kind of dance when you're performing at a level where you're not thinking, you're just reacting. And when you've been coached well, when you see a certain thing, you're supposed to react a certain way. That's when you know that you're onto something, that you're on the right path, that you're moving in the right direction. When the game becomes a reflex, that's when you know you're onto something. I'm starting to see this Browns team settle into the flow of Baker knowing when to attack, of the defense knowing when to dial up a blitz. And it's a special thing. I've seen decades of football here in Cleveland that have been subpar, and it's so exciting to see something great. So anyway, Davis Lyons also came in with Facts of Life. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. You could be the superhero as well. 96, 97. Yeah, I'm old. Am I? Am I old? Am I old? Maybe. Darren Campbell saying the guy is a winner. I assume he's just talking about me. No, Baker Mayfield, the guy is a winner. Absolutely. Ted saying he stays in the game. Yes, he does. Mistakes don't faze him. No, they don't. Because, I had a doctor. I had a surgery on my knee, and I kind of had this patch of area. I never really got my nerves back, after they made the incision, and I blew out my ACL playing basketball. I made it through football, made it through tennis in high school, and then in college I was playing a pickup game of basketball, blew out my knee. Fun. But anyway, this guy says, well, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. That's my doctor. I'm like, you jerk. I didn't want to hear that, but honestly, it's the truth. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. And when you talk about mistakes and you talk about Baker Mayfield, you're going to have plays you wish you could take back. You might have strip sacks. You might have sacks. You might have incompletions. You might have throwaways. You might have abandoned the play too quick. You might have thrown an interception. That is in the past. That's a thing that occurred. Leave it there. Next series out, you just got to go. That's it. You can't mope around. And there's an energy. Once again, there's an energy to the give and flow of the game of football. So you can't do it. You have to be able to let the plays go. And you have to be able to come back again and say, hey, that's just the way that this game is played. Roll with it. Roll the dice. Make it work. So mistakes don't faze him. And Ted's right. He says that stokes confidence in him. Because then the other players see that he's not getting fazed by it. So then their attitude isn't, I hope we don't lose. It turns into, yeah, we got this. And that's a cool thing. That's a really cool thing. That's that intangible thing that you might not be able to articulate on draft day. Remember when the homeless guy convinced Uncle Jimmy Haslam to draft Johnny Manziel. That's the intangibles. I was wrong about Baker Mayfield. I'll be the first to tell you that. I didn't want him. I didn't want the off-the-field stuff, the undersized white guy quarterback, you know, like the cocky Heisman winner. There were a lot of similarities. And if you haven't seen it, go check out the letter from Johnny Manziel to Baker Mayfield. It was on ESPN last week. It was really neat. It was really good. It was really good. They're very different players. I was not on board with the Baker Mayfield pick in the beginning, and I've come around since. I was convinced after game 1.5, definitely by game 2, it's time to put him in. So, I mean, I leave a breadcrumb trail of my record and my opinions throughout the YouTube universe and on Facebook. So, you know, make sure you follow us, youtube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. We're probably going to do another channel, specifically sports, but we'll get to it in a minute. On Facebook, the group is called The Unhappy Hour Sports Show, a support group. It's a private group. We need to know you're an Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye fan. Also, Strictly Browns is a Facebook group powered by The Unhappy Hour. Strictly Browns, powered by The Unhappy Hour. Both Facebook groups. Join us over there. We're going to bring you over here. Mayfield's final stats. Barker Mayfield's final stats. Price is wrong. 24 for 43, 342 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. How happy are we with that stat line? Does that make us smile? Are we good? Darren saying we draft some studs up front this offseason. The offense is going to be scary. Absolutely. Oh, Ted saying no, he doesn't either. He just designs stuff. Okay, cool. Well, look, Cleveland Browns win 12-9. Browns are 2-2-1. Let me go across the league real quick. Let me just tell you on the full scoreboard who else is playing today in case you happen to – well, let me get to the very bottom, I suppose. Monday Night Football, Redskins are playing the Saints. If you missed it, the Patriots beat the Colts 38-24 on Thursday. Tonight at 5:20 p.m. Pacific, Cowboys taking on the Texans. Final from earlier today, Panthers go up 3-1 on their regular season record, beating the New York Football Giants 33-31. Steelers with another win, matching the Browns record 2-1, beating the 1-4 Falcons. 41-17. Yikes. Jets, a little surprising at 2-3, beat the 2-3 Broncos 34-16. Chiefs remain undefeated, beating the Jaguars 30-14. Good win for them. Lions surprisingly beat the Packers 31-23. Look at that. Of course, the Browns win 12-9. Bengals kind of running away with the division 4-1. Trailed for a while, but put up 24 points in the fourth quarter. Man, I was really excited because a 3-2 Bengals team is a lot easier to catch up to and surpass than a 4-1 Bengals team, but it's okay. They beat the 3-2 Dolphins 27-17. Good comeback win for them. This one was a really close one. 13-12, the Bills defeat the Titans 13-12. Currently in action, Seahawks, Rams tied at 17. Cardinals, the winless Cardinals up on the 49ers. 14-6. Vikings lead the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles 17-3 at halftime. Chargers up on the Raiders as we begin the third quarter 17-3. And that's our football. So anyway, like Darren says, the most important stat is a W. Good stuff. Browns get the win. Super happy for it. Thank you very much for joining us. Subscribe, like, comment, do the thing. Subscribe and click the notifications, all that jazz. Man, I appreciate all you guys for checking out the show, for leaving your comments. It means the world. I've been a Browns fan my whole life. And this is the first time in a while that we've been competitive. We're right here, 500 winning percentage, 2-1, trailing the Ravens at 3-2 and the Bengals at 4-1. But it's all right. It's all right. We've proven we can play with and tie and now beat the people in our division. We tied Schittsburg, and we went ahead and beat the Ravens. You're next, Cincy. So I'm feeling good about this. Comment in the YouTube channel. Wait until the 7th bowl. Comments, I've been a Browns fan since the 60s. Yes, man. Otto Graham, Paul Brown, Marion Motley. Jim Brown. It's pretty great. Okay, so Seth is also saying, just really quick before I wrap this up, Seth Perini is saying he watched the video over and over. Number 23 got his hand on that game-winning field goal. Well, thank you for small miracles. We were able to get the win either way. Field goal good. We win the game. Thank God. Cleveland Browns on the season have a point plus-minus differential of +1 with a one-game winning streak. Hey, mark this one down. This might be the day the Cleveland Browns have changed the direction of their franchise. So my name is Brian Engelman. This is The Unhappy Hour. I appreciate you guys popping in and following us. We're going to release some merchandise. If you like what we're doing, if you like the communities we're building, we're going to put some stuff, our logos on some merchandise, trying to sell this, help fund our operations, because if we can do more of this, we can do more of this. And I love sports. I like this more than politics anyway. But, you know, I got to cover all of the things. We run The New American Media. We run The Unhappy Hour. We do agree to disagree. We do unconventional. We do a lot of different stuff. So, you know, it really is. I feel like it's PBS. You know, it relies on viewer support from viewers like you to make this happen. But, yeah, you're right, Darren. Daniel Vogan, it's going to get interesting this year. Absolutely. AFC North is the only division where all teams are at least 500. Go figure. Wouldn't it be the year that the Browns turn it around? It's like the 94 Indians. When we turn it around, there's a strike. It's a strike-shortened year. That could have been our World Series year. Whatever. That's why it's called The Unhappy Hour, because we're used to this crap. So anyway, thanks for following us. We're going to post this after the fact. Appreciate you guys. Love you. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Go Browns. We get the win today. 12-9 in a barn burner after the 45-42 showing last week. Go figure. Talk to you again soon. Take care. Peace.